Okay, today let's look at 4 great B2B SaaS Meta Ads. The fastest way to make better ads is just to learn from the best. So today, let's break down 4 ads that are crushing it right now. They've been running for 3 or more weeks, so clearly they are quite profitable. So yeah, let's take a look. As you can see on my screen, the first ad is the ClickUp ad. If you don't know ClickUp is a project management software. So what we see here is that the headline is just memorable and perfectly communicates the benefit of their AI, and just without mentioning the word AI. And you literally have to read it 2 times, which is a huge win for any ad. And the next we see is that a subheadline and a small overview of the contrast is pretty good, and it's mainly for the tech savvy audience, so it makes project management look cool and futuristic and not boring. So these are all plus in my opinion. So futuristic, not boring, and notice how they don't lead with AI features. We don't have AI features. They just say what the AI does for you. So auto schedule, auto prioritize, save time plus energy. So this is like a modern design, and for a tech savvy audience, and they quite like it, so it seems to be working. Next, let's see an ad for Scribe. So the next thing we see is Scribe. So this is a masterclass in showing like the exact pain spelled out properly visually. So it's like a before and after. So the first thing you see is the giant stack of messy papers, and what it takes to actually create how-to guides, documentation, SOPs, and so on in a company. And what's the outcome, which is do it with a single click with your software. So we immediately know that it automates a very tedious problem. The copy is brilliant. It just works. It's a one-liner before and after. It works. And the solution is shown as a single magical action. One click, get rid of all of your tedious SOP, how-to guide. Get rid of all these stacks of paper, and make it quick and easy to sift through all of them. So the great lesson here is that if the pain your software solves is represented with a very great one-liner and a extremely nice before and after, you can instantly stop someone from scrolling past and just make them click or make them want to click. Next up, we see the ad for, this is kind of my favorite. It's a different kind of ad. It's not a exact native ad. It's that just advertises your company's features, and it basically shows up a case study kind of, somebody, VP of sales. So it's a good person to actually give a review about your product. So this is basically this doesn't feel like an ad. It feels like a review or a feedback or a case study. So you look it, and the best thing about this is it's an actual tweet that they're showcasing in this ad. So it's an actual tweet. So you literally want to read the tweet as you scroll past. So it's a scroll stopping ad just from that. And what this is doing, the entire feedback tweet, it's doing is instant credibility, by name dropping a VP of sales. So it's from a real company, and they're basically telling people what exactly Lemlist did for them. So they scaled the outbound to a big number. So we immediately know, even if we don't know about the software, we immediately know that it's an outbound, like a cold email or some kind of lead nurturing software. So what kind of software it's nicely explicitly pointed out in the actual feedback itself. So the main takeaway here is that if you make your ad look like content rather than an ad, then people will naturally want to stop and look at it and try to see if it's worth exploring. So it's a different kind of ad. I quite like it. So let's move on to our next ad. This is for a CRM. You might have already heard of it. It's a quite popular one. So what it's doing is the big headline is basically spelling it out loud for anybody who doesn't know what the software does. It's like the only sales CRM you need. And it's a very powerful positioning statement. It immediately tells you that it's not a bloated software like Salesforce, so immediate distinction from a market leader like Salesforce. The benefit is more promptly shown here. There are 3 small statements: manage leads, build relationships, and close more deals. So it's basically 3-step promise for an entire sales process, and how every salesperson can just hope to have their lives made easier by using this CRM. So the main takeaway here is that it's a very simple ad. It's left side is the text and the call to action, and the right side is a small description, visual of the software itself, on both mobile and PC. So main takeaway here is that if you clearly define who your product is for and who it's not for, it's pretty useful. Meta already is quite smart at knowing. If you have a great copy, Meta is already very smart at knowing where to serve your ads and where not to. So if you do it nicely, this is basically a good example of a strong positioning, and it's easy to find the right customers if you make your ad like this CRM does. Yeah, those are the 4 ads that I wanted to discuss today. Yeah, that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye.